Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
There are more men today who are getting their passports. There are more men today who are looking at women overseas as prospects, as potential options for wives, or just female companion. There are more men today who are fed up with dealing with women in the West. So where would this all lead? What does everybody think about this? Check out this TikTok titled, "I am not Kevin Samuels." No more wasting time. Let's get it.
So I was told yesterday and on two other occasions in the past week in the comments as well, but I had someone directly tell me, it's like you are trying to fill the space that Kevin Samuels had. Okay, let me tell you what, that's absolute bullshit. Kevin Samuels was here to try to fix relationships in the United States, to tell men and women what they need to do to work together to fix the marital rates, right? Austin does not give a if you marry somebody from the United States. Matter of fact, I'm telling men to leave the United States because why? Kevin Samuels wants to try to fix women. Women, you can't even tell them where they're wrong at. So just get the out of here, get your passport. I'm just telling them to quit with y'all all together and go somewhere else. Kevin Samuels did not do that. Kevin Samuels does not have the same message. Kevin Samuels told men to marry women in 3 damn months. I'm telling men to leave the women and go marry somebody somewhere else. I don't give a how quick you do it, how slow you do it, if you do it or not. Just go somewhere else. If you want the quickest solution, go somewhere else. You can't fix the requirements it costs to get somebody here to even talk to you is ridiculous. Okay? Like, especially if you're in Texas, if you're not a millionaire or you're not pretending to be one, you are out of the game. You are out of, you could be doing good, looking good, it doesn't matter. So go somewhere else where you're appreciated. That's all I'm saying. And that's not somewhere else in the United States. I'm saying go out of the country. That's my message. Kevin Samuels, I love his content, big supporter he is, but we do not have the same message. Get the off my page with that bullshit.
This is to all of the damn single black men out there that keep hollering about they going out of the country to get them a wife. Y'all want me to talk? Y'all baby mama say, y'all better sit y'all rag down because you owe child support and they don't let y'all get no passports. So it don't look like y'all going nowhere. So you might want to sit down and be content and do right and find you a black girl right here in this great United States because they ain't letting y'all go nowhere. Did I get it right, ladies? Did I get it right? Okay. That's from y'all baby mamas.
All right, guys, so you've heard two perspectives on this situation. First, we had the gentleman who said, I am not Kevin Samuels. I'm not trying to fix relationships in the black community, it looks like in specific, because that's what was Kevin Samuels' focus. He says, that's not me. I'm saying just leave it all together and go overseas. Then you had a woman, and I'm sure you guys probably recognize her if you watch my channel pretty consistently. It's the same woman who said last time that marriage is a scam, which some of you may agree, but I'm sure you wouldn't agree about the reasons she gave. Her reasons were women do all the work and have always done all the work in marriage, and that's why it's a scam. All right, so real quick, before I give my own personal opinion on this situation, give you my take, what I think as somebody who was born in a different country, Zambia. We're gonna check out these comments. Let's see what the people have to say. Our first comment here, and this was under the lady's video, the last lady that we saw. Our first comment says, they're missing this vital piece of information with the laughing emojis. Now, obviously this chick didn't like the coffee of hearing that men are looking elsewhere. They're going overseas. She didn't like that.
This coffee smells like shit.
Why? Because the thought of most women that men have even more options, men who are single, just of course would irritate women who are having a hard time in today's dating market because they don't realize they're having a hard time, not because of the men, but because they're modern women, right? And so the vital piece of information that she's talking about that she says they're missing is what the lady says of you can't leave the country if you owe child support. That's not necessarily true. There's a lot that goes into that, but that's not necessarily true. Probably the biggest misconception that that lady had who made that comment is she doesn't know that the majority of black men are childless. So to the majority of men, this does not apply. And even if it did apply to you, there's ways of getting around that, right? Now, if you're leaving to another country to avoid paying child support, then yes, you might have some issues with that in specific. But that's not what men are talking about. Men are talking about going overseas to find wives. So we've got another comment here from a woman who says, me as a Haitian woman, my family would literally shame me for bringing a non-provider home. Now, this concept of foreign parents shaming their daughters for bringing a non-provider home is just a lack of understanding of how economies work in this country versus Haiti, versus Zambia, where I'm from. A lot of African parents want all their daughters to bring home a provider, but they don't understand that the cost of living in this country is not such that it could be supported by a one-income household in most cases. The parents are still thinking like they're in Haiti. It's the African parents do the same thing. Bring home a doctor, bring home this, bring home that, right? Make sure he's a provider. Well, he will provide protection. He will provide probably the majority of the bills because men still out earn women. But most of you women will have to work. Most of you women will have to pay a significant amount of the bills. Why? Because you turned into the men that you are looking for, right? All those degrees, all that success. Well, you had to take that out of men's pockets, limiting their ability to provide for you. This next commenter says they're aware of how everyone views them. That's the primary reason they continue to harass black women instead of leaving. Only a few have the option. That's not true. Only a few actually want to go overseas. People are passionate about the message, but I found out most people don't. They don't. The people who are passionate about it, they're going to comment on this video and say, yeah, let's go. And they're going to get a lot of likes, and that's okay. You can go overseas. I want guys to go overseas if that's what they want, to find a woman. But majority of guys don't want to do that, right? They're not sitting here upset about their options. They're just like, nah, we're just not going to deal with you. They'll probably just start dating out of their race if they cannot find black women who can cooperate with them. Another comment says, no lies, ma'am. This next comment says they not only have to take care of the wife, but the wife's family as well, which if they go overseas and they set themselves up correctly, their money will go a lot further, making that not an issue. This next female commenter says they're about to go to other places and mess up those countries too. Yeah, right. That's what's messing up other countries. Not female empowerment infiltrating other countries, families and structures. That's what's messing it up. This female commenter said they're going to be hurt when they learn about a bride price. Laughing emojis. This is true. Still a thing in most places, but if you are coming from another country, trust me, fellas, you'll be able to afford most bride prices. Next comment, this gentleman says, yo must ain't see these videos in DR. LMAO. Next comment, this is sad and we don't have a reputation, just your assumption. Next, laugh out loud, you almost had it right. African-American women aren't going 50-50 either. And that's why they're moving on and why they're making their moves elsewhere. This is true. When it comes to the topic of going 50-50, it's never, ever, ever really 50-50. It never is. They don't want to go 50-50 on a coffee date or tea.
I don't drink coffee.
They don't want to do that. Find me a woman who says, I want a man that I can go 50-50 on. Okay, I want to see the spreadsheets. I want to see the budget of that relationship. And I want to see that the woman is paying 50-50 on all dates. On all dates. Most women, can you find an outlier? You probably could. But most women still expect a man to provide just for the majority of the dates. Most women still want you to protect them physically in the face of danger, no matter what they say. So this 50-50 stuff for most women is BS. And any woman who says, I'm okay with that, isn't looking for that. Now I'm going to give you guys my own personal perspective on this specific topic. People have asked me in the past, and I said I'll do it. I think I'm going to do it in this video and give you guys my own opinion about, like, get your passport, go overseas, find a woman. First of all, this is not advice. This is like when I talk about marriage and I say, hey, it's up to you once you realize the current state of marriage, how you want to move forward, whether you want to get married or not, if you want to protect yourself, it's all up to you. I'm not the guy when it comes to the marriage thing to say, I think men shouldn't get married or I think they should get married. I say, whatever you do, make sure you're as informed as possible going into it, right? That's number one. Next is I want to see all men get what they want in the context of a relationship with a woman. This is not a BLK pill channel. That's not what this is. I share this information, the information I share in my videos. I do that to help guys navigate the current dating market, understand intersexual dynamics, not to just be bitter towards women. Are men upset? Yeah, there is something called the RP rage, right? It's something men go through when they realize the truth, when they realize that they've been lied to most of their life. But I make this content to make your life better, not to make your life worse. So if you're one of those BLK guys who's going to come in, and guys, don't misunderstand me when I say BLK, I'm talking about BLK pill guys who's like, oh, all women are horrible. I don't believe that. I don't, right? You missed me with that. I block a lot of those guys on my channel. I can't keep up with comments nowadays because there's so many. But if I see somebody who's just on this like defeatist, why me, no purpose, doesn't want to improve their life, I just block you, bro. Because at some point it just gets too much. Moving on, not going to get sidetracked. So keep these two things in mind as I share my own personal perspective on this topic. If what you want is to get a woman overseas and you've thought it out very well and done your research, then do it, man. Do it. I think you should do it. I think everybody needs to travel. First of all, give you a whole different experience, just exposing yourself to a new type of, it's almost like a new reality. Once you go to a different country, if you've never been, it changes you. But as somebody who was born overseas, I can confirm that women overseas are not as masculine, entitled, and ignorant to what a man needs in comparison to women out here in the West. In fact, they drink coffee.
Like my coffee like I like my women.
So I was born in Zambia, for those of you who may not know, and travel back and forth. Probably could travel more frequently, but I go enough that I can still maintain familiarity with my family and such. I want to travel more back to my birth country. With that being said, here's just some real advice for men wanting to find wives overseas. Number one, sure, you can go overseas and find a woman who will 8 times out of 10 treat you much better than women in the West. When I say treat you much better, I'm not talking about connection and all this shit the women want to talk about. Well, what if you guys aren't connected? What about connection? So surface level. Men don't care about that shit the way women do. Men are simple. Does she know what you want? Does she know how to cook? Does she challenge you? Does she understand power dynamics within a relationship? Is she pleasant? Yeah, you will find that because women out there aren't trying to compete on who has the biggest balls, right? They're not confused. They know who they are. They know they are women and they know that you are a man. Now, with that being said, listen, if you plan on going overseas, don't plan on moving back to the States with your wife, with your chicks. And this is why, man, because guys who think that they can go there and then move back, oh yeah, I'm going to get a foreign wife, I'm going to bring her back to the States, they underestimate the power of female empowerment propaganda that's fed through media, that's on TV, that's on the social media that she's going to consume when she's over here. She's going to touch down here. And as soon as she arrives in this country or any Western country, everybody is going to be trying to feed her tea instead of coffee.
No, I'll have a tea actually.
And I hear a lot of guys saying, yeah, I'm going to go overseas, find a wife, bring her back. I'm like, hey, underestimating the power of friends, influences. Delusion is addictive. Wanting to be a man is addictive. In fact, pop culture is the number one good that the US exports to other countries. We decide what's cool. We decide the trends. We have all the musicians. We have all the famous actors that are world famous. What am I trying to say? It's good for now in these other countries, but eventually female empowerment, if it continues the way it's going now, it will become a norm in other countries. Other men in other countries are already experiencing this, but it is getting worse for them too. And then the question is, how many of you guys are really ready to like move to a different country completely? If you are, that's great. I'm not here trying to convince you not to or to do it, but just keep that in mind going forward. Listen, man, as always, curious to know what you guys think of this topic. Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you guys for checking out another episode of The Coffee Pot. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.